Hello and welcome to another update video. Yesterday Solana did come down a little bit lower. We expected lower prices anyway for Solana. I would still currently or generally medium term expect lower prices, which means that we should get down to the region around $75. I even wouldn't be surprised if we drop below it. My view is that I remain with my view that the ideal target for this current retracement is $55. Should we lose that, there is even more space in this target area to get to the $30 level. Solana did already reach the target area here, which starts at $100. We defined it back in November. It is the 61.8% Fibonacci level here at $100. Then we've got the 78.6% Fibonacci level, which typically for such a wave, for such a move, in which we currently are, a wave 2, a larger wave 2. That is normally the ideal target level. Also a good target level is for cryptos especially and for young assets, the 88.7% Fibonacci retracement level, and that is at $30. So I do expect that this here was the wave 1. That is my current view, a large wave 1. We're now in the wave 2. And then after we have found the turnaround at some point here in the target area, we should get two new all-time highs. We should finish the correction off. But again, we could, even before we do that, even drop to 55 or $30. That is sort of my medium-term, longer-term view, that we have lower prices and then we'll find a turnaround here either at 55 or $30 before we can get to new all-time highs. Short-term view is here. So short-term view is that we had on the chart here this kind of wedge pattern. Always advisable to wait for a breakout before taking a decision. Typically a bullish pattern. In this case, you can see that it actually broke to the downside. It even broke below that support zone that I had on the chart. So we had here on the chart the range between $88 and $92. That is a zone of frequent trading, a zone that you can also put on the chart by using the VPVR. Basically the volume indicator here that shows you the historical volume. You can see that we had a spike in this area. It's a bit of a fluid zone, but it shows you that here we had a lot of support, but we just went through it with a large move all the way down yesterday to $82. So let me take the VPVR out. Since then we have recovered again. I told you that we are now massively oversold for Solana, and then at some point we can expect a counter reaction. Now that came here at $82, but are we already on our way up? Well, in my view, we stepped down the ladder actually, because by breaking out of the wedge, we are now coming to retest the previous support level of the wedge, which is now proving to be resistance. As you can see, we are coming higher here. And if I go to the 1 hour chart, we see a little bit more. You can see though that we are trying to get back in. Now this is important to understand. We have seen a bit of a reaction to that previous support level, which is now resistance, but we are getting closer and closer. So that is typically considered a breakout preparation. So we could really, or break in, you know. We also have on the chart here sort of a triangle pattern, doesn't really matter. But this is here, we're getting into the apex, so we should see a decision very soon where the price is heading. For me, attractive would be obviously either, well, a breakdown would mean a continuation of the downtrend. A break back into the wedge, it just means that you are below another resistance level, right? So it will mean some progress in the chart, but it means that we are just back in the wedge, and there isn't much that's going to happen until we really break out to the upside of the wedge. Hope that makes sense. That means when we get back into the wedge, it means more waiting. For anybody who wants to take a decision here, I mean, it's up to you what you want to do. But for me, I would personally want to wait until we break out to the upside of the wedge if I went into a long position here. And ideally on the 4 hour chart, what we want to see is a breakout and a retest. And then I think it could move to $100 first. From here, it can move to the next range around $105. Then 111, and then 122. 122 is a key level here. That is a very, very important level because structurally this is a level where we previously struggled to get through, and it's also here a previous swing high. So that is sort of the first major level of resistance that I see here after getting above $100. $100, of course, psychological level, but also the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level from that point of view, fairly important. At the moment though, as long as we stay below the wedge, as long as we stay below resistance, I have to assume that the downtrend continues until it changes, and I would even assume that as long as we are below this descending trend line here. Yeah, you can see that here, that is descending trend line of the wedge. But even if we get back into the wedge, this is the level that we would first need to get above. That is currently at around 95 US dollars. If we get rejected here and move further down, my view is first target would again be that swing low at $82, and then here between $77 and $75, that sort of support range here. Looking at the EMAs, let's take a look at where we are on the EMAs. On the 1 hour chart, we had here the short signal. A couple of days ago, actually a few days ago, we are still below the EMA ribbon on the 1 hour chart. On the 4 hour chart, we're also below the EMA ribbon, just testing this as a resistance. As you can see, we tried here with this. I believe we went all the way up here in this candle to 93, got rejected at the EMA ribbon, have been pushed down again. So also here bearish until we get above the EMA ribbon, and the higher I go on the time frame, the higher or the further away is the EMA ribbon. So we are below the EMA ribbon, which is also confirming that we are basically still in the in a downtrend. Looking at the indicators here on the daily chart, we can see that we were or that we still are moving sideways here on the MACD. So not really much we can read out of this. On the daily, by the way, it's looking quite sideways generally on the chart as well. Here also not really any bullish momentum on the 4 hour chart, on the RSI. Let's go to the 4 hour, on the daily chart, sorry, on the RSI. Here, let's go to the 4 hour. Here on the 4 hour, we see things changing a little bit. We can see a bullish crossover on the MACD, and we can see the RSI go higher. So we go higher, that means the bulls are getting stronger, and we have that bullish crossover on the MACD. Now, if this now moves over to the 8 hour and the daily, we can already see negative momentum getting reduced on the 8 hour and the MACD line potentially turning around. If this is now going to play out, this could really fuel further, again, price increases and a temporary stop of the downtrend. In line with Bitcoin is currently rising a little bit. And as I said in the Bitcoin video, I do expect that we get into this sort of wave 2 target area for Bitcoin. So moving up a little bit, watch my Bitcoin video for further explanation. That means that also the altcoins should recover a little bit after they really got hammered down on the weekend. So short term, there is some upside potential here also for Solana, but I will still medium term expect lower prices before we have a chance to really complete this correction. So this is Solana. Hopefully that made sense. Hopefully you liked my update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.